Warning. The following broadcast features thoughts, ideas, and opinions you might find offensive. If you're easily angered, insulted, hurt, provoked, outraged, or annoyed, the following may offend you. The views expressed in this show are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of YouTube or Google. So please, don't flag this video. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back, guys.
Immediately, thank you, Annabelle, for being way early with the Nightmare Fuel. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. That's so nice.
I don't know if you're still here. You got here way early, but...
Yeah, very early.
Appreciate it. Hi, guys. Robert, Tana, Marielle, DC, everybody's here. Gang's all here.
Yeah, they are.
We do.
Oh, thanks. I like them too. All right, guys.
Welcome to Does This Offend You? We're hesitating because we don't have a lot of bad things to say about either of these movies. So it might be slightly tamer. Does this offend you? I don't know. But normally we talk about like offensive and controversial topics in like horror and horror adjacent movies. That's what we normally do. Recognize like everybody here, but just in case, quickly, spoiler warning for both movies, for May and for Nina Forever. So if you haven't watched either of these and you want to, come back later.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah.
Also, we went with a Valentine's Day theme, but I don't know how. They're both love stories in their own way.
Yeah, I feel like people watch, like horror fans watch these for Valentine's Day, right?
Probably not.
Well, I'm sure somebody out there does. Okay, they're, like Emma said, they're love stories in their own way. Also, really quick, our links are in the description. Feel like I should mention that. Emma's, I just put your link tree. I fucking love link tree. It's just so much easier to put one thing.
Yeah, that works.
But it's down there and you should follow us. End of sentence. Meet a friend, watch me. That's a good movie to watch with friends, honestly.
Oh my god, yeah, I've watched it so many times with friends. I've watched
to
it
judge
so
the
many times
reaction
on my...
too.
Yeah, I think I've watched it like 3 times with my patrons on my and my Discord and stuff. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. So there's always someone who hasn't seen it, and it's really cool to see their reaction.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So what one do we want to start with?
I don't know.
The preference.
What does everyone think in the chat?
Yeah.
I don't know what to put.
I know. I was trying to think of an emoji.
I guess.
A bed for Nina Forever? Is there a bed emoji?
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt, for the Nightmare Fuel.
Guys, if we can do anything today, it's not talk about children. Oh, no, I appreciate it very much. The Viva Forever. Oh my god, that's so funny. I can't even hear that song. It makes me so sad because that was like one of their last songs ever. I just think of them being like little fairies. I don't know if you remember the film clip. Vicky, were you into the Spice Girls?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
okay,
my
cool.
gosh.
Love that. That's a very strong yes.
That I got offended for a second. That
The one offensive thing.
You would think me, a millennial.
Yeah, I just didn't know. Because I didn't know about your what your 90s things
I wore out my Spice World VHS movie.
Oh wow!
All the fucking time.
I saw it again a couple years ago at it was like an indoor cinema, but it was like everyone was still on beanbags. Yeah. Like a cozy. It was like almost like a sleepover, and it was so wild to watch again because like the whole movie's just cameos.
Yeah.
Like there's no story. It's just cameos.
I was gonna make a joke that it holds up. It really doesn't, but it's just fun to watch.
It's iconic.
We don't watch it because it holds up. We watch it because it's iconic.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my goodness.
All right, should we just pick one? Because I don't think, has anyone ever said... Oh, no, I think they said May. I think we've got even.
May. Oh, I don't see any. I see one Nina Forever.
Okay.
So I guess we'll start with May.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, okay. I guess I can summarize it really quick. Although it looks like most of you at least watched that one. A few of you said you didn't watch Nina Forever, but... Okay, so... May, Lucky McKee movie. We're following May, who as a child was a lonely girl with a lazy eye and without any friends except for a strange homemade doll kept in a glass case that was given to her by her mother on her birthday. Grown-up May is still lonely and working in an animal hospital assisting the veterinarian. When May meets mechanic Adam, she develops a crush on him, especially his hands. They date, but May's bizarre behavior pushes Adam away from her. Alone again, May has a brief affair with her coworker Polly, but she feels rejected again when Polly starts seeing another woman, Ambrosia. When her doll is accidentally broken, May decides to build a new friend using the best parts from her acquaintances that her acquaintances can offer. Can't read today.
No, that was good. That was a long intro, so that was really good. I love this movie. I can't tell you how many times I've seen May. I was struggling with time this week to rewatch them, and I was like, you know what? May would be the one I could get away with, but I watched
That's
it.
true.
I've seen it so many times.
You have to.
Yeah.
So good.
Where do you want to start? Actually, you know what? Let's start with...
Oh, gosh.
What I find was really interesting, I guess, because I haven't really looked at May from the perspective of doing and does this offend you, and the the opening scene is really interesting when you look at that because it involves her mother, and I think that both the films we talk about today are about insecurities in relationships, but I guess May's insecurity in herself as well. So the scene at the start with the mum. It's only a few minutes, but it really nails quickly. It's so funny with this Lucky McKee stuff, okay? Okay? I knew it was going to come up. I knew I couldn't help myself. Because he just... what was the film he did recently, though? Sorry, I'm totally forgetting. But there was a film that he did really, really recently.
Most recently?
Yes. Or was he wrote something? He was in something... Oh, no, not Poker Face. Oh my god. Oh, probably Old Man.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, he was in Kindred. He did Kindred Spirits too. It's just really interesting the way he writes women, especially if you've seen The Woman, which I really dislike that movie. Like, I love brutal, disturbing stuff, like, so much. That movie, why? Like, it's just bizarre. And so that's why I find it really interesting that he did May, because May is such an awesome way that he's told this story, and in a way that's not really in your face. And that's what I felt about the opening. If you don't really pick up what's happening, you could think it's just a typical creepy horror movie opening where you're like getting to know the character or whatever, but it's really about her mother passing down to her these habits and I guess insecurities and the way she picks apart herself with her perfectionism. And there's so many different, when I was on IMDb looking at this, there's so many different interpretations of what's going on in this film because it's so layered. It's it's an amazing film and I don't think you'll ever top it. And it's just so weird that he did this film before a lot of those other ones. Isn't that so strange? But yeah, he did direct one episode of Poker Face and that really threw me. But, in this one, the mother tells May to cover up her eye, and we get that insecurity about something being different about her, and that she needs to cover it. First, she's got the eye patch on it, and then her mum wants her to cover it with her hair. And then later in the film, we have Polly, who's Anna Faris, and she has the mole on her finger, and May says to her, have you ever thought about getting that removed? she just wants everything to be perfect. And there's also the other, obviously the whole doll in the glass, no one touches it. That's like a metaphor for so many different things throughout the film. But when she first receives that, she has the wrapping paper and she goes to pull it off, and the mum said that, oh, you know, now you've ruined it, when she like rips the paper instead of like taking it off carefully. And I think that it's just so well done in those just couple sentences at the very start, just a minute or two. It really sets up the whole idea of who May is and why she is the way she is.
Yeah. I don't know the details on it, but I saw a piece of trivia. I don't know if it was on the IMDb or where was it, that it was the intro was a lot longer. Initially, like with May as a kid. And then I guess test audiences, I guess figured it dragged the movie down too much or something, and they cut it. But I mean, I like it works because it, like, just like what you explained, it did convey. Yeah, it conveyed it perfectly. Like, I don't think it needed to be longer. Like, you immediately understand where May's coming from for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's almost bizarre. I'm trying to see who was the editor, if he was the editor or not, because it's almost bizarre that this, sorry, I know this is kind of a little bit off topic, but that this was his first film and he just hit gold. Like, it's a cult classic and it is so precise in every scene. I don't feel like it drags. So maybe he was really good at listening to test audiences and all that, but it doesn't seem like anything happened after that. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, no, there's 3 different editors in there. So maybe that's someone there guided him somehow. Yeah,
maybe.
Because it's just so weird that you could just do that and then everything else just falls so short, in my opinion. Honestly. Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah,
I wish I knew like all the scenes that were in there, but I just know it was potentially longer. But
yeah,
I think that I knocked it out of the park. It's his best one.
Yeah,
it's first and best. He peaked.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. So yeah, I just think that the way that it's conveyed and the way that it's written, this woman in particular. Hey Lane, by the way, I hope you liked the movie. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll just go into another point that I had. I don't know if it's another point. Did I even write it down? I'm trying to keep up with my thoughts.
Our plan was just to rip anyway, guys. Don't worry. This is all part of the show.
Yeah, I actually don't know what I had now. Sorry. You can't. I've totally forgotten. Oh, I need a good sleep.
That's the theme of the stream.
Oh,
we all need sleep.
Oh, I guess it was like the whole... Oh, no, I kind of it is. I think I wrote it in the other film because there's so much... Again, when you watch these films for this kind of stream where we're not actually just ranking the films or like rating them and talking about all the normal stuff we would for a review, you really connect the dots. And I think I actually wrote it. That's why I can't find it. I wrote it for the other film. But basically it's the whole idea that... what I get strongly from the film is the whole pick me situation where everyone thinks that they're very edgy and cool and they like weird stuff, and then May comes along and she's like, no, I actually like weird stuff.
She's actually weird.
Yeah, and she doesn't say it in like a pretentious way. She's trying to fit in. And I find that just like so interesting, the way that she's written as a woman in that as well, where unfortunately, like a lot of directors would go straight to like the male perspective of that, and maybe she gets away with it more because of that. I don't know, because she's like unassuming, you know, people see her as like not threatening. Yeah. So yeah, I just think it was just written so well for a woman who it wasn't written by a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting because a lot of people compare it obviously to Frankenstein. I mean, it's an obvious comparison with what she does at the end.
Yeah.
And if you think...
And the tattoo.
Yeah. If you look at May as a character and then Victor Frankenstein, you feel a lot more sympathy and like maybe a bit more of a connection easier to May. And maybe that's because she's unassuming or because she's just so like genuinely weird and she is trying to fit in, versus like a Victor Frankenstein who is like... I don't know how everybody else feels about
Well, he's got like a motive, I guess, as well.
Yeah, but he's like an egomaniac, though, also.
Yeah. But that's like his motive, where her motive is just to Well, I mean, in the end, she kind of snaps. Which kind of brings me into my main point about this, which I knew was going to come up in Vicky's notes before I even... Like, I just knew how Vicky felt about this. Because we were kind of talking about it in our last Does This Offend You? I think it was for audition. We were just like, but she was right. Like,
Right.
but justified. Which is exactly how I feel about May. And I think May does this. I guess when you pick apart different characters and why you like them, something keeps coming up for me. And I know it probably does come up for you too, Vicky. The whole idea that you're following a protagonist who is flawed, deeply flawed, like the anti-hero kind of sitch. Yeah. And the point of view that they present is so compelling and so convincing that you're just like down with it, whatever they end up doing. Like you totally, it's like the good for her cinematic universe. Do you know what I mean? And May definitely belongs in that. And it's just really interesting because she ends up killing people because they're like mildly annoying. Like they don't actually do anything bad to her. Like she bites the guy and like starts like putting blood all over herself. So so he's like, I need to leave. Like that's the worst thing that happened. And then he was talking shit about her in his own house. Not, you know what I mean? Like he didn't, and we see him as like the back. He didn't literally do anything. And he was still nice to her. Like he still said hi to her when he saw her at the laundromat later. Yeah. And then he left, made an excuse, left so he didn't hurt her feelings. Like it's like, and then she comes to his house later in the film and he's with his girlfriend. And she says, like, touch my face. And he's like, okay. Like, he's literally doing everything she wants him to do. And yet we're still like, come on. Come on, just die a little. You know, May deserves it.
Yeah.
And same with Polly. Like, Polly didn't do anything wrong. She's just, like, horny. And she was really open about it. And
that's true,
you know,
yeah.
So I just think it's so funny.
It is.
Because it's like they just win you over so easily. I'd love to see if anyone else has any people that they think of when they think of that kind of character, that kind of like anti-hero kind of character in horror movies, if there's anyone that they relate to. Like, obviously for me it would be like Danny as well from like Midsummer or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
That's another one I got, like, all my coworkers were like, but was the boyfriend that bad? And I'm just like, I'm like on my man-hating, like, soapbox, like, no!
Yeah.
Every time I watch one of these movies, any of them, I'm like,
yeah.
You gave a laundry list of all valid points that he's not that bad, but I'm just like, no.
Yeah, did you really have to, like, yeah, we're not going to spoil, but did you really have to, you know? Carrie, I feel like, is different, though. Oh, no, she maybe, you know, maybe she's not. I was like, they were so mean to her. They threw stuff at her, but she didn't have to kill them.
I don't know. I feel like the making fun of her on her period, that's a little bit more brutal.
Yeah, but
that's
it's not, you shouldn't be like, get the death sentence for it. They're also teenagers at school. Like, it's just the worst anyway. No one looks good in that. I'm just incriminating
myself on the internet, basically.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I was trying to think of other ones. The other one would be like Ready or Not. But that one is actually justified, I think, because that's a different situation. I was thinking about that because that's always brought up, but that's like a cat and mouse kind of survival game more so.
That's true.
So I was just because that one always gets brought into it. Anyway, we're done spoiling.
I mean, I still would consider that a good for her.
I mean, yeah, definitely good for her.
Dodged a bullet.
Oh God, it's strong.
I love everybody justifying it.
Her dress. Doesn't mean she had to set the whole thing on fire, bring down the brimstone. Her mum is the only one who deserved it. Her mum did. Anyway, this is not about Carrie. We've done an episode on Carrie before.
I feel like we'll have to do a special, a Does This Offend You special.
Yeah.
Of men ain't shit.
Oh my God. Get into some of your notes. What do you got? Oh, you've got actually offensive stuff. I guess you can lead off that, yeah.
As we say, I have, if we want to talk about Adam again.
as well.
All right, so Emma just listed all the things that he did actually well, fine, whatever. You also wrote in your notes that he's a film bro edgelord, which...
Yeah, he is. I said we definitely need to discuss that.
Yes.
But that goes into the whole pick-me situation where everyone is like, oh my god, like the whole film is about everyone else thinking that they're really actually weird when they're not really paying attention to the art.
That is true. So I was a little bit meaner about it. I definitely agree he's a film bro edgelord, and I'll get into that in a second. But I feel like he was also, I don't know, I guess I'm just seeing it. I'm really, really judgy at this point. Because he is super fucking weird, but like not in the way he thinks he is. Like I think in the movie, I just see him as like infantilizing. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Like you know, like because May is so like cutesy and innocent, like seeing her as kind of like a child, and that's what is like attractive to him about her. Infantilizing. That's right, I think. But that's why he thinks she's cute, because she's like inexperienced and like a little quirky. And I just think that's, I don't know. I read it as like creepy, and maybe that's just because I'm like every time I watch this movie I'm just like, ew, no. But I think that's like part of her thing though too. I think that's what makes her so attractive to everybody in the movie, like Polly included, and the other guy with the tattoo, Blank, I think is his name.
Well, we can just call him Frank because he's Frank from Donnie Darko.
Or yeah, Frank. Blank, Frank, same thing. That she's so like quiet and meek and innocent, and that's why people want to, you know, it's kind of like a fetish almost. I feel like, yeah, there you go, fetishizes her. That's I probably could have just said that instead of trying to make up a word. Yes, absolutely. But he also is a film bro edgelord, which we can get into too. When he shows her his his film from college that he just got finished editing.
Oh my god, so original!
I know.
What a great concept! It doesn't make any sense. Oh my god,
it's the least original movie ever. I mean. Two people just eating each other because they love each other so much, like low-hanging fruit, my guy. But I love when he asks what she thinks of it, and she says it's sweet, like, because obviously she does, like, it's May, and the look on his face, I don't know about you, but I could just like see like the film bro comments popping up, like,
yeah, 100%.
You just didn't get it. You clearly don't know anything about film if that's what you think about it.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much, Maddie.
Oh, thank you, Maddie.
I hope you have a good day, Maddie. Oh my god, Maddie, your display picture is so cute. The dog next to the computer.
Oh, I didn't even notice the dog. Give your dog a kiss.
I mean, I totally agree. The way that it's funny that he says that you don't get it instead of asking her what she actually, like, why she thinks that. That's what's crazy to me. Like, all the answers are there. You just need to actually talk to her.
Yeah.
And they just don't give it the time. But yeah, he is like super, oh my god, do you want to come to my I think he, like, when he goes into the room, he's like, does this stuff scare you?
Yeah. I love how she moves around the room too, and it's just kind of like,
no.
Yeah.
And or when he says, oh, you work in you're a veterinarian assistant or whatever. I love gruesome stories, and then she tells this really gross story.
The worst story I've ever heard.
And he's just like, and I'm like, you know, yeah. He's like walking the walk, but not. It's just, yeah. It just reminds me, you know. I guess it's not really the comments, because I don't even think that those people get to that, but it does remind me of like the same essence of people just assuming what they do is edgy, but they can't really find, that in, there's no self-awareness, I guess. There's just no self-awareness.
That's true. Well, that's interesting. I guess I didn't like really see her that way. I don't know about you.
May
like they all see her
as
as a manic pixie dream girl.
Yeah, I get that totally. Someone wrote the quote, "I don't think that she could have bitten off his whole finger in one bite. That part was pretty unrealistic." This person's name, this user's name, a pizza that giant.
For the
my
simple
God.
huddled masses.
What does that mean? I saw it before. I was so like, I'd never seen a username like that.
You'll have to explain your username at some point.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jade.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you for the nightmare fuel. Thanks for supporting us, just gushing about how much we love May. And not the only things I could find that was like, okay, let me like knuckle down and try and find something offensive about this was just like the random gross animal stuff. I mean, she kills Loopy with an ashtray. That sucks. There's the like random fucking detached dog leg with the weird ass story, you know, the guy coming in and I came back and my dog has 3 legs now. And then of course what you mentioned, that like really gruesome, awful story of a dog's like guts just spilling out because they used the wrong intentionally used the wrong sutures when sewing up a dog. That was like all I could come up with for like offensive
no, you're right.
stuff.
I don't think, I think because this film is taking someone who is not like weak, but taking someone who usually would be the person who gets bullied, and it's kind of, other people do show her compassion in this film. Yeah. And it's not really about that at all. It's about how she views herself. Yeah. And so I don't think that you can, and they never really say anything bad about her. So I don't really think you can find anything offensive in this one. I just don't think that there's anything there.
That is true.
I read on IMDb that the movie can be considered oh my God, how do I say this? Why am I like blanking? Like a satire take on society's superficial, never-ending obsession with vanity and perfection, and how absurd it is for alienating someone based on their imperfections. I don't like, there's just so many different, when I looked up May and I was just like looking through the facts and stuff on IMDb, there's so many different ways that people have read, like taken things away from this story. Yeah. And I honestly don't see it about being about superficial or anything like that. Like, that's not how I see it. I see it as her trying to fit into society, and she just wants to be perfect, and the whole point is that she couldn't have a friend, so she made one. Right. So I don't know, I don't really see it as that, but maybe she sees it's interesting because maybe the whole film people, well, I guess we as the audience see that she might see herself flawed, but she thinks other people are flawed in a weird way. Do you know what I mean? Because she's like, if only you would shut up. I like your neck. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like it's more about trauma, I guess, because her like you mentioned, her mother is the one that put this idea into her head that like everything needs to be perfect. You know, like obviously the symbolism with the doll in the case, and you can't touch the doll in it because she's special and it needs to be pristine. Like, but that was like her mother putting that trauma on her. And it doesn't, I don't know if I agree with, I mean, I guess you could, I mean, we reach all the time. So I guess you can, you know, make a reach about people. I don't know, maybe it'd read differently if it was remade today with social media, like people's obsession with making everything look perfect, you know, on social media. But I saw it more as just the trauma from her mom, because like you said, everybody in the movie kind of more or less accepts her until she gets like too weird and she kind of crosses that line a little bit. They all accept her, and even like Polly says, like, what does she say? Like her mom said, like, our imperfections or what
my grandma said that my imperfections are what makes people special.
Something like that. So it's like they're the ones like say, like, I feel like they don't represent society then, like, because who is representing the society's superficial view other than May, I guess, or May's mom. But
I don't think that at all.
Everybody else is like, oh, I like weird stuff, even if it's annoying, like being a film bro. Like Adam likes unconventional things. Like he likes horror movies. He likes darker things or whatever. So like everybody, and Blank, you know, like his style and his hair, everybody's different, and they're all okay with it, and it's just May who's not okay with it.
Yeah,
because of what she experienced.
Yeah, it's a very interesting perspective to break down. But yeah, I mean, I very much enjoyed it. I saw someone, the pizza person, put that they just literally made up their name.
Oh, come on! You should have made something up. Some deep meaning, and then we would have thought about it for like the rest of the week. What if Jesus gave the huddle masses giant pizzas?
And then they also said that she doesn't seem to realize that she's even crossing social cues. Yeah, I had that thought too, but I don't like diagnosing like fictional characters. I don't like go there because it's just, and I think that I like when art, like especially this film, is open and some people have different interpretations because of their perspectives, and I would never like take that away from anyone, but like it's hard to put that on someone. But yeah, there's definitely some, like she, besides all of that, she definitely does not pick up on social cues, or she's just so anxiety driven as well that she doesn't know how she's coming off to others. She's just, she's like, what you see is what you get kind of thing. And she takes things literally. I feel like that's a lot of the stuff where she's being very literal about everything and no one's taking her seriously.
Yeah.
It's like, you live in a world where everyone jokes around and everyone's, you know, joking about how I'm dark and da-da-da. She's like, no, I really am. Yeah. And it's like telling someone who you are and they just don't believe you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I don't really have anything else on this one. Did you?
No. We covered everything. We just love this movie, guys.
I know, I do. And if you have not seen it, we didn't really spoil. Like, it's still great. Like, if you really need to watch it, especially for Anna Faris, like her role in this is so crazy, and she's just so kooky. She's really down to earth. I also really love the representation of their sexuality in this film and how it's just not really said and it's just open. Yeah. Everyone's really open, and I really, really enjoy that aspect where, you know, it's not really delved into and it's just everything is.
No, yeah, that's not the point of the movie. It just is. It just exists.
Yeah, and they never really speak on it. I love that. That's my favorite part. One of my favorite parts.
You know, like real life, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. I know that it's like very important in a lot of films to speak on that and have representation, but it's sometimes nice when it's just a part of the film. So. It's
like just as important to have the stories where they're literally just existing. Yeah. I guess until Anna Faris doesn't exist in the movie, but you know what I mean. Like she's like, but they're just existing.
Yeah, I'm not. Someone said, "Is Anna Faris bi in the film?" I'm not really sure, but that's the whole point. You just don't really know, and you don't really know that about May, and it is what it is, and everyone's just people of thing, which that's what I really like.
I would just you can just guess or just go off of the movie. You don't, it's just. You only know what happens in the movie
that
shows
window.
You. So.
And honestly, Polly's just like so horny for anything. So probably. Yeah, she's funny.
She is. So she has the best lines in the movie too, I feel like.
Yeah, she does. She's just comes on so strong, and with all like the double meanings with when she's talking about like pussycats and stuff. It's so funny and weird, and I love it. And it's just. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
Well, I do love her. I was thinking about the scalpel scene. Ow, you crazy bitch.
Yeah, the scoople. That's right. Someone said the scoople.
The scoople, yep. Oh my God.
That's so funny.
Well, did this movie offend you, Emma?
No, I love this movie dearly. And I did see Lane that said in the comments that they weren't appreciative of the animal stuff. Honestly, it's so fake in this film that it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Love you, Lane. What about you?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I love May, yeah. No issues with this movie whatsoever. I guess except with Adam. I guess I really had
he triggered
problem
you.
with Adam. Yeah.
It's the comment section.
Yeah, that's true. It was just a little too close to home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Nina Forever then. I know a few of you guys, I think you guys like mentioned at the beginning, some of you guys hadn't seen it. So as long as you're okay with us spoiling it, you can stick around. So Nina Forever follows Holly, who begins a relationship with her coworker Rob after learning he tried to unalive himself after the death of his girlfriend Nina.
It's already
Every
wild.
time Holly and Rob have sex, Nina appears to ruin the moment in all of her bloody glory.
Her limp body.
Her limp body, yep. Holly and Rob try to move past this setback, but even when Rob successfully moves on, Holly is still haunted by Nina. And that's like really all that happens. It's kind of just like one of those like character driven movies, you know, that it's like it's all about what's going on. Yeah.
It's like a realization, kind of like this slow, they're trying to work through their relationship and figure out if they can. It's a very interesting story and just so well documented, like the idea of grief and emotional baggage from relationships and how that really takes a toll on people. And it's just done in such a awesome kind of metaphor. So I really, really enjoyed this film.
That's true. I guess for anybody, if they're sticking around that hasn't seen it, like the way she appears is just so gnarly. Like she's literally the form like she was in when she died, like in this car accident. So like it's like her limp body and like
she's
bones
just
are
like
broken
rolling around like this in bed, like
she kind of has to like fling her limbs around. And she's still like oozing blood and just makes a mess everywhere. It's awesome.
So similar to Ghost Story, not really, because it's in Ghost Story they don't really meet. But in this, they're all interacting with each other. They're all having sex with each other. So probably very different. No crying on the floor, eating pie. Which is
implied too, I guess, like anybody could see Nina, like if they were to like walk in or something like that. And I mean, I guess at the end of the movie, she like blindfolds the one guy just in case. Like,
well, I guess that's the thing. If people haven't seen it, spoilers, and mad spoiler here, but the whole twist of the whole film is you think the whole time Nina is appearing because it's her ex can't let go of her in a new relationship because she just starts showing up when they're having sex. But it's actually, Nina's actually attached to Holly, the new girlfriend, and it's her who can't get over the fact that the person she is going out with, that she loves, like she can't let go of his ex, like being around or thinking about her. And it's funny because when she first appears is when you first see the tattoo, and he has a tattoo that says Nina Forever, which obviously is the title. So that's like kind of what springs it all, like seeing him naked for the first time. You can't really escape his past, especially since it's tattooed on his body.
Right.
So yeah, it's a really cool like realization, which is why she blindfolds some other guy she randomly has sex with later to try and see if it is her or him. It's really sad because a lot of the film you follow like him and his whole struggle with grief, but I also find it really chilling his relationship with Nina's parents. He still goes to see Nina's parents and meets with them all the time and talks with them, and it's just you never really see those relationships or those forms of I don't know, like, I guess relationship, but those dynamics outside of film. You know, you hear about that and you wonder if people do go visit, though, you know, they've lost their loved one, and then they still reach out to their family, and it's just so painful that no one expresses that in media. So I really enjoyed that part because it's just like one of those things that are unspoken, and I think that they did it really, really well. Because they also have like this whole dynamic between them where they go off at him at one point being like, we're doing this for you. And they have to get over the fact that he's got a new partner because they can never get a new daughter. It's really sad. It's so sad.
Yeah. It's very real. Like,
and
dealing with
really
grief like that. Yeah, it's really real.
I just think it's so well done. I was saying to Vicky beforehand, like I went back and I did a review, I think 7 years ago, and I gave it like a 3.5. I give it a 4 now for sure, like out of 5. I don't know what I was on, but
It was fun. We half watched it.
Yeah, you're listening to me watching it. Yeah. I recommended a movie called Cashback from 2006 as well. Cannot remember it, but it's rated really well. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to. I was taking notes for myself. Okay, notes for this one though. My gosh. I guess we've kind of talked about grief, right?
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, and I guess we both mentioned the romanticizing aspect.
Yeah.
Did you want to go on yours? Because I feel like you got a lot more on this.
Yeah, sure. So, yes. Actually, Marielle, you kind of, which I think you just said you haven't seen it, but you kind of nailed it. Yes. So Holly, our kind of main character, I guess, who we're following a little bit, is like fascinated with the idea that Rob was like so distraught over Nina's death that he potentially tried to unalive himself. I don't know if it was actually confirmed, but that's like the rumor that goes around at work that he tried to do that.
I don't know if he did, because when you see it, isn't that what you see at the start? No.
Oh, was that it? Him crashing his motorcycle?
That's what I thought it was.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyway,
I didn't realize.
Maybe. That's what I thought.
I just thought maybe he crashed his motorcycle. Over my head, guys.
Someone confirm.
Yeah. But I think we both pulled different quotes from that scene too, because then we cut to Holly, who's talking to two of her coworkers, who are like the two most level-headed people in this movie.
I was gonna say the two bitches, but
whatever. They're speaking facts, that Holly, because she's clearly just like obsessed with Rob, and the quote I pulled out was where she says, "Imagine fucking someone that intense," when she's talking about like, you know, he just loved her that much or whatever.
Yeah.
And the quote, hold on,
I have the quote that I pulled out. It says, I'd love if my boyfriend tried to kill himself.
Yes.
Because I died.
Yes. Like, immediately we're starting the movie off like that. So I don't know about everybody else who saw this movie, but I see Holly as like, there's no like clear antagonist, but I see her as a little bit of not a great character, because I mean, they're all kind of, they have their things, you know, nobody's perfect, obviously. And I feel like they're like, also part of the reason she does this is because she literally just got dumped right before for being too vanilla. Which is what her ex tells her. So I feel like her motivations are a little bit questionable at the start. But also, I work in a bookstore, and this just kind of reminded me a lot. Anybody else who's into books, and maybe you're on Book Talk, this like obsession with like dark romance books, like think like the Colleen Hoovers and stuff like that, where like usually the male lead character has a lot of like actual red flags. Like a lot of these books romanticize like really violent stuff, like some of them romanticize like abuse and sexual assault and things like that. And yeah. And it's like kind of a scary side of Book Talk, where you're not sure if like the target demographic for these books, which is like 16 years old to 30 years old, whether they kind of like understand that this is like not what you should aspire to in a relationship. And Holly kind of reminds me of that a little bit, where like she's romanticizing these really like dark things. And not that you can't love somebody who's like grieving over somebody, but that is like the main reason she goes to talk to him in the first place.
I disagree with Holly for a few reasons. Number one being, the whole idea is Holly is training to be a paramedic because she wants to save others, and she's trying to save him. And not saying that's a good thing, but the difference with Holly is she's the only person who gets a real character arc in the whole story, because she starts off being so obsessed with him that she gets his ex tattooed on her. Yeah. And they keep saying how young she is. She's 19, and she's just doing anything to try and fit into that mold, and which is very like alarming. But at the end, she realizes she'll never get over the fact that like about his ex, and so she's the one to end it. And that's what I actually really like about her, because she's like the actual only one who comes to the full circle, where everyone else is still kind of like stuck in this thing. He goes back to her and goes, you know, like, oh, like we should like, let's do this again. Because they keep kind of breaking up and getting back together. And at the very end, she's just like, no, I figured out it was like me all the time, like the whole time. And like, she just goes off to do her own thing. Yeah. Which I love about her. No more Holly slander.
But you don't think Rob gets over it by the end? Because I feel like
but I think
that's
Rob's
like part of the
over it
reason
whole
she's
time,
like.
To be fair, I think he's over it the whole time, but it's just never going to work. But it's
like
also on him too.
No, I'm not saying Rob's the good guy.
But it's
Listen,
also
that ain't shit.
Yeah, I think that he should have recognized that Holly's too young for this, and it's just not well equipped for the situation. Who the fuck lets their new girlfriend get their ex tattooed on her? Like, that's so weird.
Right. And he still has like all of Nina's stuff all over the apartment and takes her back there like it's.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Nobody's like fully like.
I totally agree. And I think Holly's completely flawed, but that's the reason I like her, is because that's that whole realization at the end. I wish I was like that when I was 19. Like, I'm still in the dark, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. But that's like the point of the movie, though, that they're flawed in that way, and how the grief affects everybody, including Holly, who didn't even know Nina, except for Nina being dead. That's the only interaction she ever has with her.
Yeah, and Nina's so mean.
Nina is really mean.
Yeah. I don't know what she was like when she was alive, but she's a biatch.
Give her a break. She's dead, okay?
Yeah. I think I did have stuff down about Holly the protagonist, because I do understand what you're saying, that it's kind of like in a weird way, but I felt it in a different sense, that Holly's character was never really completed. For a film that's like so sensitive and has so much raw emotion and really not taboo subjects, but really sensitive subjects. We spend the entire film learning about Rob and Nina's relationship, and even though we're meant to be following Holly, we follow Holly from the start, so she's technically the protagonist. She's moving the story along, but we don't know anything about her, and especially when she's 19 and she just moved in with him, like, we don't see any of her family or where she's come from or any interaction with that. To be fair, we don't really see Rob's family either, but we get to learn that Rob was like studying and like all about his background, but I know that she's like doing the paramedic thing, but it's just so weird that we don't really learn anything else about her. I just think that's really interesting. And then I looked it up to see, I was trying to remember, and I was wondering if like someone in the comments, or I don't know what you think about this, Vicky, with the Bechdel test, if it passes, because the only thing I can think of, and this is just because I feel like Holly's character wasn't fleshed out enough, the only thing I can think of is when they have the sexual encounter between Nina and Holly when he's not there, and they say, oh, it was you all along, but I don't know if that's still considered a conversation about a guy.
Yeah, so to pass the Bechdel test, they would need to have a conversation where they're not talking about a man.
Yeah, but I don't know if that technically is a conversation, because they're saying, oh, it wasn't really him, it was all about you, but it is involving a man. Yeah. So.
I don't know. I feel like if it does, it's like maybe on like a technicality where it's like maybe they just don't mention Rob's name or whatever if they do have a conversation. Because I think at one point, during that montage where she's like puttering around the apartment, like changing everything, and Rob's not there, and Nina keeps showing up, and I think I guess we're judging like what is the conversation, because I think she says something like, you really think you can scrub every piece of me out of this apartment? I think that's like one line I remember. Him. Yeah, that's like, technically they don't mention him. Is it a conversation? I don't really know.
And it's really interesting because it's like, of course, what is the one thing? It's going to be the woman cleaning the house having another conversation with another woman about that passes the test.
Yeah.
Like
I
painting.
don't, So if it does, I feel like it would be like on a technicality, maybe. I don't know that it's like truly passes. Because also, even though Holly is the one Nina is attached to, it technically is all about Rob. Because this wouldn't be happening to her if she didn't get involved with Rob anyway.
Yeah. Which kind of like leads me to the connection between both of the films, where it's just about these insecurities and about not being able to be yourself. Because like this whole edgelord thing, which what you were kind of talking about with like the dark romance kind of books,
Yeah.
It's that same idea that she had to be dark and mysterious and eat pomegranate with her hands when they met to get his attention. And yeah, it's like this whole thing that you have to be like this other person to try and fit into, this whole, it is like the kind of like the pixie manic dream girl again.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Both the films really reflect so much on other characters. I mean, May a little bit more introspective, but are really about themselves and how they see the world at the end, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And their own, eating pomegranate is now edgy.
The way
with
she
your
eats
hands,
it, she literally,
when
it's
you
like
steal it from work.
yeah, oh, that was so edgy. You know, she just takes it off the shelf. Look at me. But she like digs into it in like the nastiest way. Like
I know, he loves it too. It's so funny.
Just like literally just like scoops her hand into it, and it's so messy.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Lane, I thought that's interesting too. I don't know what the test is in terms. I need to look it up again, because does it have to be a conversation without a man present? Because they're all sitting at the table when she says that.
I don't.
What are the 3 rules? 1, that at least 2 women are featured. 2, that they talk to each other, and 3, they discuss something else other than a man. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know if that's a. Yeah, it's a good question. I was thinking that too. I was trying to remember what they had talked about. I can't believe she said that though. Do you really need a degree to be a paramedic? Yeah. Who do you want to fucking come and save your life? Do you want
Christ. I need somebody to explain the mom to me, because like that after that whole thing, like that dinner where he like brings Holly.
I think.
Like, what was going on with the mom and Rob?
Oh, she was losing her mind. I think she thought she was ready, and then when she met her, she realized she was not ready to see him with someone else.
Oh, okay.
And I think then she was just, her whole life changed, and so she was having like a little crisis. That's why she had that little breakdown. I almost thought she was going to kiss him when that.
That's what I was thinking, and I'm like, what is happening here?
And she could have too. Like, she's probably out of her mind. Like, she lost her daughter, and she's stuck with a man. She lost her daughter. Vicky's worst nightmare. It's literally a man writing a book or whatever the fuck he was doing. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just think she was just losing her mind. She's a bit cuckoo.
Okay.
But it was kind of sad because I wish he would just tell her at the start, I did meet someone. It would have just been so different, because it would have been coming through like her instead of them. I really liked how they did that flashback scene, just totally off topic, but I really like how they did that flashback scene, how they like had the dinner and then they flashed back to it. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I thought it was an interesting way of doing it. 2 women talk to each other, but not about a man, yes.
Yeah. It's the...
Yeah, I don't know.
Test.
There's got to be some like details about it, surely, somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, that's why I mean, like, on a technicality, I feel like that it would pass.
Yeah.
I guess. I suppose.
Oh, there's a little chart. Cute. Okay. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
It how sad, like, how simple it is too. That like drives me wild how simple that is.
I think that's the point a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But I forgot how simple. I thought there was like 5 things. That's so crazy to me. Wait, let's just be funny for 1 second. What famous films don't pass? I just want to freak myself out for a second.
Oh, I'm sure plenty don't.
I think that there's like, probably a list. Breakfast at Tiffany's. The entire Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah, because there's only 3 women and they don't ever interact with each other.
Oh my god. Gollum, we can't tell Gollum's gender, surely. I'm not really surprised by any of these, like, Avengers, Avengers.
Started on Lord of the Rings.
I like Lord of the Rings, but now
I know, I love them. It just makes me so mad that 3 whole women and they don't ever interact. Yeah.
That's so wild. I didn't know that.
1000% does not pass.
Wait, does it say Ratatouille? I swear I just saw Ratatouille. Yes, it is Ratatouille, guys!
Confirmed.
Slumdog
Ratatouille
Millionaire.
doesn't pass.
Yeah. Avatar. Another reason not to like Avatar. Yeah,
Oh my
all of
gosh,
these other
Des,
ones are
thank
very
you. Jesus.
awesome. Sorry, I was like, here's my like.
Thank
Oh my
you,
god,
Des.
Des. Aren't you glad you tuned in?
Right at this moment.
I just think it's really interesting. Wow. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Just wanted to freak myself out. La La Land, obviously. It's like the whole movie is about a relationship. Toy Story 1 and 2. Finding Nemo? Surely when that little
I'm
squid
trying to think what
inks.
other, but
I don't know.
we're literally talking about fish here. There's just Dory, right?
Well, what about the little babies, the little children going to school? There's a little squid. I don't know the gender of the fucking squid though, so it's hard. And you know what? They might not have like jellyfish. I don't think jellyfish have genders, so like it is hard.
That's
but
true.
that is a good question because I don't know how this falls in terms of non-binary characters as well. Do you know what I mean? That's a good question. Anyway, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's all good. I love the little tangent we were about to go off on.
Sorry, guys. We had to one day.
Yeah,
What
that's
film were we
also
talking
true.
about?
Yeah. Good point, Thomas.
What was that?
Good point.
Yeah,
Our
exactly.
vision
That's
is
what I was
like, yeah.
thinking. That's what I was thinking. And clownfish especially are.
Yeah.
Because they have to rub themselves against the coral to stay the same sex or change or something like that. I'm not joking. That's real. I'm for real.
I believe
guys.
you. You said it with such confidence.
Imagine if I just made that up. Sounds like something I do.
Just
Is she a ghost or a zombie?
not really.
I think
either.
a bit of both. Yeah. Well,
she's
she appears
she's
like a ghost.
corporeal, so I mean, like, you know, they can like interact with her and touch her.
Yeah,
and...
true. She appears like a ghost, but she looks like a zombie. If that
Right.
helps you
There you
out.
go. That's a good one. Yeah, she appears like a ghost.
And she
looks like a
leaves.
zombie.
Yeah, she leaves stains and stuff.
Yeah.
So
That
I
sounds
don't
so
know.
gross. She leaves stains.
She does. She's just like emotional baggage, really. She's like a ghost haunting them, though. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
And it's just when they have sex too, which is so wild.
that's true. Well,
Except when she's alone.
Yeah, except that montage where she keeps appearing to Holly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything then. That was our first clue, I guess, that she was attached to Holly.
I know.
guess.
Now I feel dumb. I just realized that. Did you have some notes you wanted to touch on since we're being so annoying?
Just some notes on Rob, but we kind of already.
I love that you said that the dude is pushing 30. How is he meant to be in it?
Well, he's got a PhD, and I think like
How long
the
does it take him
the math on Nina's grave, she was like 28 or something like that.
Oh
so.
yeah. Well, they thought she was young. Like, what's her face was young.
Yeah. So he's, I feel like at least 10 years older than.
I think dating a 19-year-old was a little bit of a sicky move. For
Yeah.
sure.
Bit of a sicky move. We did mention the age gap thing or whatever. Also don't know if he told Nina's parents that he was going to bring Holly over. I don't know. I feel like that was just
I
like a
think he
mean.
did.
I feel like even so, it just feels like a mean thing to do.
I think that he thought he
that would
was trying
not
to
cross
do
my
something.
mind at all.
I think he was trying to fix the situation, but they just needed to break up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was trying. Yeah. He was pretty hot though. I'm sorry, Vicky. Sorry. I'm sorry, Vicky. It gets a little
wouldn't
bit
know.
of a pass, unfortunately. You don't want to know.
No, I said I wouldn't know.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. The 19 thing was a little bit strange. That's why I was so concerned for her. I was like, who is she? Where's her family?
Yeah. Where's your mom?
Exactly.
That is true.
I think we kind of, did we touch on everything? I have some fun facts.
Hit us.
If I can find them. Yes. So the scene in the bed and breakfast towards the end was complicated by the fact that Abigail Hardingham, who was
Holly.
me trying to figure out who that was.
I think it's
I'm
Holly.
assuming Holly.
Yeah.
I can't find it. Where am I? Anyway, one of the people.
She plays Holly.
Assuming Holly. Is it Holly? Yes.
Yeah.
Had come down with novovirus bug, and was vomiting constantly in between takes.
Oh, if it was norovirus, I've had that. That's fucking terrible.
Oh.
It is genuinely just like throwing up every like 10
And
minutes.
if you remember that scene, that's like when they're using the stamps. Could you imagine? They're like vomiting. Ew. And the second one, sorry, these are pretty gross. The second one is that the fake blood used got so sticky, the sheets would stick to the actors while filming, and they solved the problem by adding lube to the fake blood, which I thought was funny.
I mean, it makes sense. It does, like, it checks out now when you watch the movie and everything just genuinely just looks so wet, like, on the bed. Like,
it'd be so annoying. And it must be really hard with continuity. I guess I just have to shoot long takes. You know what I mean? Because the blood just keeps going everywhere.
Yeah. Honestly.
So, I guess, yeah. You probably, if you paid closer attention, you might see all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's, like, meant to be messy, though, so I feel like
yeah,
it works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But did you find this one offensive, Vicky?
No, I didn't. I think there were some parts that were a little bit like questionable, but I mean, I think it gets its point across. The whole point is to like kind of examine grief, like you mentioned all the way at the beginning when we talked about this. Like, and I think it does its job there. So, no, I don't find this movie offensive.
Yeah.
What about you?
No. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's just like such an awesome metaphor for emotional baggage and new relationships and grief. And I just really, really, not that it spoke to me particularly like personally, but I just like this time watching it, I was like, this is such a clever, low budget film.
Yeah.
That just is done so well and isn't trying too hard to get its point across. It just does it in such a balanced way. And it's not like this epic film. It's just, I love that. I love the understated, like, indie films that just have they hit really hard. So, yeah. I really enjoyed that. I think it's a really good film.
Yeah.
And it's really funny that it's a comedy. I don't know if you saw that. The genre is comedy.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I could see the, the satirical aspects. Like, there's something about, I guess, like, grief and death that is a little funny, like when you think about like the like utter pain of like losing somebody like that, like just things in like your day-to-day life just seem hilarious that you have to do them. So I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand a little bit.
Yeah.
So I definitely see the comedy aspect.
I think I see it, but I would not be like, let's watch this funny film. Like, it's actually so sad. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a dark film, so I just find it funny that they've put it onto there.
Yeah. Or it's like funny just in the way that they chose to have it manifest, like how this baggage manifests in the form of this bloody girlfriend literally climbing out of the bed while they're having sex. Come on, that's funny.
Yeah. when you're over getting traumatized by it, yeah.
Right.
The reactions are so funny at the start where they're like, is this really happening kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, how would you... I don't know how I would react, honestly.
Oh, I don't know either. I like that he, like, doesn't stay in that bed. Like, he sleeps on the couch for, like, a couple of nights. Like,
that seems like a realistic reaction, probably.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Joseph, you're sold now. You should watch it.
Yeah. No, definitely watch it. So
yeah. Even if we spoiled everything, you guys should still watch it. 'Cause I feel like we're not really doing it justice. And you should.
No.
Yeah. You absolutely should. All right.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Well, does this offend you guys?
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
We're the least offended possibly in the history of the show, I think.
We went for like 2 films that matched that didn't really have anything offensive.
Yeah,
but if you can think of an offensive film, now I'm thinking The Woman. I don't think we've done that one.
Oh God, I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah, me either. If you think of an offensive film that we want to watch, I have it heaps on our idea list from stuff that you guys have given us in the past. Yeah. But if there's anything new, let us know.
Yeah, really long list.
You know where to find us.
Yeah. What you got going on, Emma, on your channel?
Well, I just spin in the corner.
Aside from the unspeakable thing.
I've been in the cornfields for, a little bit of while. If you do watch that video, I really appreciate it. Don't mind the mistake I make 2 minutes into my 45-minute video. Fuck that. And what else have I got? I'll have like my wrap up next, and then I'll have like what's coming to VOD, and then I'm gonna do I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm going to do a review on the new Children of the Corn as well next week. So you get 3 videos next week, and you got 3 videos this week. I did Infinity Pool, Cocaine Bear, and Children of the Corn ranking this week, and you get 3 videos next week. Good. And then, I guess we'll go into what you're doing first, and then we'll discuss what's happening next month.
It'll go up after this because I forgot to put it up before Does This Offend You. I'll have a reading vlog where I tried reading the first couple of pages of a bunch of books I've been putting off for a long time, including some really disturbing ones, honestly. So it was a fun way to get out of a reading slump, but that'll be up. I'll put it up after this. Sorry, I got caught watching a K-drama and forgot. And then I'll have you guys were talking about it. Creepy Book Club should be next weekend. We'll be talking about White Horse by Erica T. Worth, which somebody mentioned in the.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah. I don't think it was on Audible. I'll have to see.
I think it was, not to call you out, but I think I did listen. I had the audiobook somewhere. I listened to it. I
can only do White Horses.
It also could have been on Libro. I have like a million audio.
There's a lot of white. The only white horse I know, guys, is the T Swift song. You'll know it. Des, if you're still here. White horse. It says White Horse.
White Horse.
I'm not seeing it.
Erica T. Worth. Oh, maybe it wasn't.
Call you out, but I'm not seeing it. There's a lot of books called White Horse. But they're not that one.
That could have been another app. I got like a million different apps that I
get my audio. Let me know if they do. If anyone does know that there's one on an app. English. If anyone knows if there's an app with one thing on it, let me know.
If you just know off the top of your head, drop it right now.
Because I love doing your recommend. Sorry, this is totally off topic. I totally should say it with the after show. But what was the book that you keep recommending to everyone that you talked about in the cabin, Knock at the Cabin? Cabin in the Underworld, whatever we're calling it these days. The
Last House on Needless Street?
Is that the book that back in my brain? Is that the book that you told everyone they have to read?
Yeah.
What's it called?
The Last House on Needless Street.
You love it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yes, it's on here. Okay, I can do that one. I have so many credits.
Yeah, don't worry about the February one. Just read that one.
Okay. I like this because I can do it when I like op shop, thrift shop, you know.
There you go. Oh, it's so good.
Done.
The little side.
Speaking of speaking of March, y'all. Get that? Speaking of March, we will be taking March off because I'm going to Japan. Gonna go hang out with Godzilla. Ooh. So, my bad, guys. But, yeah, that's what I was gonna say before. I've been doing a lot of videos, but I'll have a little bit of a sparse March. So,
that's okay.
That is why, if you're looking for me, follow me on Insta because I'll probably post heaps of stuff.
Yeah, that's okay. You need a little vacation time.
Do I? I can't even speak. Of course I do. Okay, I'm downloading this thing.
Thank you for supporting me in the comments with the Needless Street. Now I have support, yes.
Okay. Do you think I'll like it?
If you don't, we might have to
end a slasher?
And you forever. I'm kidding.
Okay. Sorry, we're totally off topic. Then we'll be back for April, sometime in April.
Which will be our anniversary, guys. We started in April.
Oh,
according to our document. So if you have any ideas,
let's put in here actually. Episode 56. What is it called? Anniversary.
So if you have any fun
What
ideas,
year? How many years?
Oh God. I love how I'm scrolling back in the document like it's gonna tell me.
I know. Guys, we have a document. It has 209 pages.
I'm gonna.
That's how many pages we've written.
We have a book, guys.
I'm gonna
Dang it.
Green.
I'm gonna try and find it really fast.
What is
but...
it? Yeah, me too. The book. Okay. 4 years ago it says. Wait, let me just double check.
Was it? That feels. Well, I guess it would be technically. So it'd be 5, I guess.
I'm trying. Oh, 2018. Is that 5 years ago?
So, yes, I guess
2018.
So we'll be going into our 5th year.
Because it's.
That would make sense.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. I put it down. I put the date down now for the first episode, so we don't forget.
You'll need to release the Does This Avenge You talk. I think you guys
don't
would probably be disappointed.
Yeah. This is the audio, the audible version, which you guys are listening to right now.
Maybe start. So no, it's too long now, Marielle. We're not stopping.
Maybe start a new document. I have thought about it.
It's the most wild, wild west of a document. There's like no. Like,
it is.
There's like no headers. There's no way to like find anything easily. And here you just kind of have to.
No.
Do a keyword search.
This is how I roll it.
Yeah.
It's like vomiting it onto a page.
Yep.
And then we always do the after show, where we discuss what movie we should do, and we always look straight at this document and then somehow name the film we've already watched. So the document doesn't even do anything for us.
No. It's a
so
security
wild
blanket at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That's so funny.
All right, guys, we're doing some after talk banter right now. So
we should save this. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for a fun conversation. And we'll see you. Out. Yeah, we'll see you in April.
Yeah, see you guys. See you online.
Bye.
Bye.
I really should